I remember it like it was yesterday, but it had to have been at least 25 years ago. My elementary school teacher ratted me out to my mom, told my mom that she was pretty convinced that I was nearsighted. Well, I was incredulous. I was all up in arms. I mean, how could this possibly be? I could see. So my nearsighted mother took me to see her eye doctor. And Dr. Hank put me through all of the rigmarole. You know how this goes if you've ever had an eye exam. Which option is better, 1 or 2? 2 or 3? I dutifully answered his questions, even though I still maintain 25 plus years later that nobody can tell the difference. Well, a few hours later that same day, we went back to the eye doctor's office because my glasses were ready. I still thought this was some kind of cruel joke. I mean, clearly I could see just fine. So Dr. Hank decided to prove me wrong. He brought me over to a window and he said, "Kelly, look across the way there. Can you see the tree?" It was just across the road. So I, victoriously, smugly, said, "Yeah, of course I can." He said, "Great. So you can see all the individual leaves on that tree as well, right?" Well, I was dumbfounded. I mean, it had never, not one time in my entire life, occurred to me that unless your nose was practically pressed against the branch, you could ever see more than just some big green blob. And I didn't think it was possible. So as I'm busily explaining to Dr. Hank why no one can see the individual leaves on a tree, he sneaks around, takes the glasses, and puts them right on my nose. Well, wouldn't you know, I could see every one. Thousands of leaves, each one of them perfectly identifiable. It's a funny thing, isn't it? With the right prescription, you can see what has always been there. Friends, this year at our June 18th and 19th, 2021 Thrive Conference, we're going to be focusing on the E in that acronym, external focus. What we're going to be doing is asking the Lord to give us the ability, the prescription, so to speak, to see what has always been there. To stop looking beyond ourselves at just nameless, faceless group of people that we assume are all fine. And instead to be able to see the people we do life with every day. The ones we go to school with, or we work alongside of, or we have within our own families. The people just beyond the walls of our church, every one of them individuals who God the Father knows by name, who He handcrafted. Each one a person for whom Jesus died and in whom the Spirit desires to dwell. What we're going to ask the Lord to do is to give us the ability to see what's always been there. People who, unless they know Jesus Christ, will spend all of eternity without Him. We're going to ask God to give us the ability to focus beyond ourselves and discover that we have been invited to be a people who live externally focused, showcasing to the world around us, both in our words and in our work, that the King and His kingdom has already come. Friends, if you want to be part of this conversation, asking the Lord to give us the eyes to see what's always been there, then we need you to do a couple of very simple things. 1, I need you to jump off of this call, go over to the ABCOPAD website and register for the event itself. 2, begin even now talking to women within your bubble who you want to invite to gather together June 18th and 19th for the conference. Maybe you'll gather as a small group at your church or in your living room, but gather some people so that you can have the conversation together. And 3, start praying. Pray that you're not like me, pretty much blind, but utterly convinced you can see. Pray that the Spirit of God would give us eyes to see what's already there.